Urgent update from Hollis Hall. The Bears are changing the trench math. And it directly targets the soft spot that's been holding this defense. Back interior knockback on early downs and a closing punch on third and medium. I'm going to break down the plan, the roll, the cap, and the snap tree. And only then at L climax, I'll give you the name that's about to lengthen our front and shorten opposing pockets. Here's how I'm structuring this for you. Clear and straight. First, I'll diagnose what's been missing up front with evidence you can see on tape. Then I'll map the exact archetype pose and the staff want for this rotation. After that, I'll show how that piece pairs with Montez Sweat, what it does to our run fits, and how it changes Eberflus' pressure menu without turning us into a blitz-happy unit. Finally, I'll lay out the roster rules, the cap impact, and the likely corresponding move. Only there, when el cuadro este completo, suelto la noticia. Tape truth, not clickbait. The Bears have improved the edge presence, but our interior hasn't consistently reset the line of scrimmage. Against wide zone outfits, our tackles get stretched horizontal, the backside cutoff lands, and the runner finds daylight at the C-gap if the force player is a beat late. Versus gap teams, we've eaten too many double teams without splitting them early enough to keep linebackers clean. On passing downs, we've created initial width off the edge, but we haven't bullied the depth of the pocket, so quarterbacks climb, reset, and turn a pressure into a completion. That's not a 1-2 problem. It's a length and leverage problem. What the front office is chasing is not a stat line. It's a trait stack. Length to control first contact, anchor to dent doubles, and a heavy long arm that collapses guards who can't anchor on schedule. They want a player who wins the half-man relationship, plays through the near shoulder, and converts speed to power enough to force help calls from centers. If you've watched the good snaps from our best interior bursts, you know the picture. Guard gives ground, the QB's platform shrinks, and the timing of the route tree falls a half-tick out of phase. That half-tick wins third dash and dash 6-dot scheme fit next. Eberflus 4-down looks live on get-off, one-gap discipline, and coordinated gains TEET, and occasional three-man twist from reduced fronts. Our playbook doesn't need a pure upfield freelancer. It needs a disciplined penetrator who can cross-face when the protection slides and who understands when to go from power to pry and peer. The bonus, someone long enough to cloud passing lanes on quick game. That's been missing, especially against rhythm throwers who feast on slants and sticks when the A-gaps are clean. Now let's talk rotation. First and second down, the new body profiles as a 3T4I who can survive base blocks, spill when asked, and force backs off track. In nickel, you kick him inside at 3T next to a penetrator, or shade him over the guard to bait the slide and free Sweat for one-on-ones. Third and medium, the money down for this defense. You can present 5-man pictures without sending 5, mug the A-gaps with a backer, and still drop out while getting real interior push. That's simulated pressure without coverage stress. This isn't just about pass rush. It's about run fits that breathe. When your tackle lengthens first contact, the guard can't overtake as cleanly, the center can't climb with the same speed, and your linebackers trigger downhill on time instead of eating blocks at 4 yards. That's how TFLs are born, by winning the first, ugly half-second before most fans can see it. Locker room reality also matters. You can't just parachute a new body into a veteran room and hope it hums. This piece needs to be a quick study. A line, assignment, technique. The staff isn't asking for a savior. They're asking for a pro who takes coaching and plays his role with the same energy in the fourth quarter of Detroit as in the first quarter of Green Bay. Rotational honesty wins games in December. Okay? Cap and rulebook simple and important. The move we're discussing doesn't cost draft capital. It's a low cash, low risk acquisition that carries one binding clause. When you pluck a player from another team's practice squad to your 53, you must remain on that 53 for a minimum of 3 weeks. That's good for the player and good for us because it forces a real evaluation window. It also means a corresponding move is inevitable. Expect a back-end roster, Shuffle at a position with redundancy or a short-term injury that allows for an IR stint with return. Special. Team snapshot. Long. Explosive interior bodies matter in the field goal pat phase. Wingspan and timing can turn 3 points into blocks, and coaches love a DL who takes the third phase personally. Early path to a jersey on game day? Be useful there while the defensive snaps ramp. Development plan, the honest version. No one's expecting double-digit sacks in 6 weeks. The year one, month one ask is threefold. Play with consistent pad level. Win your first strike more often than not, and finish through the ball carrier. Coaching points you'll hear in the room. Lock out before peak. Long arm with hips behind it. Don't open the door on down blocks, and run the hoop tight when the QB climbs. Get those right. And the splash plays show up dot, now the depth chart ripple. This addition turns the interior room into a real competition for snaps at 3T, on passing downs and sturdy early down reps at 4I when we build 5-man surfaces. It reduces the double-team diet for sweat, it makes stunts hit faster, and it lets us keep legs fresher into the fourth quarter. When you can roll waves, your finishing rate on late drives climbs, fewer long fields after punts. More short fields after sacks. Here's the part you've been waiting for climax. No smoke. The Bears are bringing in Baylor product Gabe Hall, elevating him off Philadelphia's practice squad to the 53. Length for days. Nearly 6'6" and pushing 295. With the wingspan you draft for and the leverage profile our coaches can weaponize. It's the quintessential low-risk, high-upside ad. No picks out the door. A clean 3-week commitment and a skill set that plugs straight into what this defense has been missing.